What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Young HVAC, and I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm back.
Shout out to Young HVAC.
Shout out to Young HVAC. Shout out to Young HVAC.
If this is your first time tuning into the channel, go ahead, take a second and hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications because you need to be notified when I drop a new video, or you're probably gonna miss out on some super awesome stuff. I know it's been a while. Okay, maybe just like a month, but don't worry. Those of you who have been supporting me all this time, I'm gonna be dropping videos once a week, at least once a week. I got a lot of exciting stuff coming to the channel. Your boy was recently sponsored by Silverline Tools. They're gonna be sending me a bunch of tools and they wanna get my opinion on it. They want me to start using them in the video. So shout out to Silverline Tools over in the UK. They're making a move to the United States and they want your boy to be a part of something big. I told them, hey, I'll look out for you. So stay tuned. This channel is gonna take off soon, I promise. And I appreciate all of you who have been here from the very start, from the very first video. If you couldn't tell by the title, this video is going to be about 5 HVAC interview questions that you probably should prepare for because they're gonna ask you. Whether this is your first job interview, whether you're fresh into the field, or you've already been into the field. All right, so question number 1. And this is probably a question that they're gonna ask not just at an HVAC interview, but at any interview. So for those of you who have already had jobs before, I'm sure you've heard this question many of times. Question number 1, tell me about yourself. So this is an open-ended question, but it can easily make or break your job interview. The last thing that you want to do is just go rambling off about irrelevant stuff because you weren't prepared to answer that question. We all find ourselves, or we all have found ourselves to be mumbling and just going on about how you lived here and you moved here and your mom and your dad and your dog and how you like going to the beach and how you like playing video games on your spare time. Honestly, that's not what they're looking for. Don't be fooled by this question. Don't ramble on and try to keep it short and sweet. Just enough that they can get a small taste of what it would be like to hire you in their company. When an interviewer asks you this question, all they're asking for is a brief snapshot of yourself. Pretty much who you are and why you'd be a good fit for the job is all they care about. A few very important things that I think that you should mention during this question is your training. For one, you have to let them know that you were properly trained and you are prepared to do this job without being too pushy. Because ultimately, that's what they want to know about you. They honestly don't care about it if you like to go to your grandma's house and eat cookies or if you like to watch Netflix all day. Another good point that you can bring up, or another thing that can help you kind of steer this question, is just let them know about your HVAC journey or why you chose HVAC, especially if this is your very first job. If this is not your first job, then you want to let them know about your experiences in the field and how you've built up that experience and, you know, just pretty much building that foundation for a relationship with a brand new company. Question number 2, and I'm pretty sure that every job, not just HVAC job, will also ask this question. That question is, if you're enjoying this video so far, go ahead and take a second and hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope that what you've seen so far will make you want to subscribe. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button too. Thank you. Tell me about your experience, or what experience do you have? Or they'll be looking at your resume and they'll be asking you about your experiences, so about your previous jobs, and they may ask you to tell me what you've done at that job. This is your first HVAC job, then on your resume, don't be afraid to put your previous jobs. Whether it's a shoe store, whether it's fast food, any kind of customer service, whether you know it or not, that's gonna help you. That's gonna make you that much better than that person that has no experience at all, who has never had a job before. So don't hold back. It's okay if you worked at McDonald's. It's okay if you worked at Home Depot, if you worked at a shoe store. If this is an entry-level position, then they don't expect you to have 100 years of HVAC experience in the first place. But what you have to do is you have to think outside of the box on how situations or experiences that you could have had at your previous jobs can still play a major part in the way that you handle things in this new HVAC field. So once again, don't be shy. Let them know about your previous job experience. And if you already have experience, then that's great. For those of you who have just graduated school and this is your first HVAC job, then you want to tell them that, because HVAC school, it counts as experience because you do a lot of things that you're going to be doing in the field in school. So if you went to school, you definitely want to, one, have that on your resume, and two, let them know that you've pretty much been trained, you've been pre-trained in school. So now that job, they may only have to help you sharpen those skills or just add on and just make you that much better. And once again, this is another question that you have probably been already asked at a previous job interview. And this question is, how would you handle a difficult customer? Or they may word it like, tell me about a time where you had to deal with a customer that was frustrated. This is a question that I've been asked plenty of times, whether or not it pertained to that field or not. So I brought up my previous retail management experience and retail experience. And you know, because in retail, you're gonna have to deal with that every day. And I just pretty much let them know that I've dealt with all kinds of customers, and I have, and I'm prepared to defuse any kind of situations. And I pretty much let them know that I'm not new to having to deal with customers. Anyone who's worked retail or any kind of food servicing, pretty much any job where you had to deal with customers, we've all dealt with difficult customers. And whether or not you handle it the correct way in this interview, make sure that you project that you did handle it the right way. You don't want to tell them like, oh yeah, there was one customer and he was really giving me a hard time, so I told him to step outside and we got down in the grass. That's not what they want to hear. Make sure you tell them what they want to hear. Number 4. So this question really goes down to those who are applying that already have some kind of school knowledge or previous HVAC knowledge, or you're transferring to a new company. They may put you to a skills test. They may have an old unit in their shop that they use for training purposes, or they may ask you a series of questions that they expect you to know the answer to. Why? Because you told them you have experience. For example, they may have you walk up to a unit and just start pointing at things, pointing at different components. And these are things that you're probably gonna know, but you may be a little nervous when they ask you, so hang in there. They may ask you to tell them what the formula for superheat is. And whether you learned this in school or if you learned it in the field, then you know the formula for superheat is the actual line temperature minus the suction saturated temperature. They just might start pointing at components, and you have to tell them what that component is. Oh, that's a compressor. Oh, this is a that. If this is an entry-level job, don't expect them to ask you rocket science questions. But if you are transferring positions, if you already have some kind of experience, then they may really put you to the test, because they want to make sure that they're hiring the right guy. Number 5, and this is the most important question that we oftentimes sell ourselves short on, because we just want to get hired. But you got to know your worth and also not be too greedy. So question number 5 is going to be, what salary are you expecting? With that being said, if you've made it to this question, either they're considering you or they're just seeing where your head is at. When they ask you this question, make sure that you're reasonable. Don't sell yourself too short, but don't oversell yourself. When it comes down to this question, there's a couple of things that you should prepare yourself now before you're asked it. go ahead and do some research and see what the average pay is in your area. That way you don't sell yourself short. If everyone in your area, the average person is starting off at 20 bucks, then you know that 20 is going to be your lowest. So go ahead and tell them 25 or however you feel, but don't sell yourself too short. On the other side of that, if you're someone with unbelievable experience, then of course you want to shoot for the moon so you can start racking up that money. But even if you're starting at the bottom, just make sure that you pick a number that's good enough for you to pay all your bills and get by. And you want to make sure that you ask them, is there going to be room for growth, or will there be opportunities to make more money? Because at the end of the day, these companies know that people want to get paid. They want to be able to move up in the ranks. So that was something that was very important to me. I need to know that if I take this rate, will I be stuck at this rate for the rest of my career here, or will I be able to move up? If this is your very first job, then you may just have to take that rate. But once you outgrown it, now you can either go to another company, or you can have a sit down with them and let them know, hey, I'm pretty valuable, I'm pretty awesome, you should give me a raise. And I'm just a firm believer that I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna prove to you that I'm gonna be the best or one of the best on your roster. And hey, once it shows, they're gonna do everything in their power to keep someone like you on their team, because why would they wanna lose you? If you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and pause it, and in the comment section below, go ahead and write, I'm gonna get hired, so that I know that you've made it to the very end of this video. And I just wanna thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video and you're looking forward to more videos like this, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll know when the next video drops. It's your boy Young HVAC, and I'm back, and I'm better than ever.